Oh, we have people. Okay, Gonzalo asks, have you ever eaten a crayon or glue, or what strange thing have you eaten? When I was younger, I was playing with Play-Doh, and I stuck it up my nose, and it got stuck for a while, and I had to have my grandma help me. But before I answer any other questions throughout this whole thing, I wanted to say happy birthday to Selena Kyle. She turns 76 today, and I wanted to shout out Vinny for bringing that to my attention. So, whoop-de-doo. Okay, it's 7 o'clock. Yay! Hi, Larissa. Who's your favorite Catwoman ever? I don't have a favorite. I like all of them. And I know that's a very common thing to say, but I really do love everyone equally. So, hi Zachary, hi Morgan. So I just got home from set. I had a 6 a.m. pickup, and we were on stage all day. So, it's nice. We have 24,000 viewers. That's pretty cool. Hi! Do you guys have any questions? There are like no questions. Okay, well in the meantime, I'm gonna introduce you to Savvy. This is Savvy. She's a lot like Selena Kyle, and when we first brought her home, we adopted her. And when we first brought her home, she figured out a way to escape the room, and so we named her Savvy. So, yes. And then this is my comic book collection. This is a whole box full of little comic books that I ordered off of eBay when I first got the role. And then I live off of this book. This is a gigantic DC comic encyclopedia. It's the best thing ever. So yeah, I love this one. And then, oh, sorry. Okay, and then I got this as a gift recently. It's Catwoman, a celebration of 75 years, and I know she turned 76 today, but, so yes, this was a gift of mine. So yeah, I was pretty excited. Nobody's asking questions! Well, I'll just wait until you guys have questions. Well, I'll ask you some questions. How are you liking the show so far? Well, the weather in New York lately has been insane. It's like 2 days ago it was 70 degrees. Yesterday was really nice too, and then today it's freezing. So, yeah. Does anybody have any more questions? I've answered everybody so far that's typed in questions. Yeah, hi Morgan, hi Zachary. Today we finished filming episode 121 today. Rob Bailey directed it. He's an amazing guy. I actually know him through a family member, which is small world. But yeah, I'm really excited for everyone to see it, and I start work for the finale this week also, and Eagle Eagleson directs that, so I'm super duper excited. And then we finish wrapping in March, and then we go on hiatus, and I'm really excited for that. And then we hopefully there's a season 3, and if there is a season 3, then we will be back late summer in New York, and I'm super duper excited. Oh, okay, so I'm seeing some questions. Okay, who do you like hanging out with on set? I like hanging out with everybody. Everybody has different things that they bring, like different energies that they bring to the set. Donal is super funny, and he's a history major, I believe, so he's always teaching me different things about history, and yeah, so everybody brings different energies to set. And I also I hang out with hair and makeup a lot just because I'm always with them. You know, they help me get ready for the day, and they help bring Selena alive. So I'm always hanging out with them and talking story. And then another question is, when will we see Ivy again? You will see Ivy very soon this season. I'm not going to say when, but you'll see her soon. What's your favorite episode? Oh. You can't that's a really hard question, because again, each episode has different things about it. Yeah. Tacos or burgers? Tacos for sure. I like carne asada tacos personally, because it's just good. I'm from San Diego, so I get tacos all the time, and rice and beans. What's been your favorite scene to film so far? I had a lot of cool scenes in episode 6, so I loved that episode. I got to work with TJ Scott, and he's an amazing director. I've gotten to film some cool scenes recently, actually, but I can't tell you about it yet, so you just have to stay tuned. And then, favorite DC comic, Mr. G's being stupid. Yeah, I get to do a lot of, I've gotten to do some more action/stunt scenes lately, so I'm excited. And favorite DC Comics character? Ooh, Selena Kyle. I have to say that. What music do you like listening to? It depends on my mood. I'd have to say majority of my iPod consists of like soul, R&B, and rap. but I'll listen to rock, I'll listen to jazz, blues, so it just kind of depends on my mood. What's it like working with Robin Lord Taylor? I actually haven't gotten to work with him very much this season, but him himself, he's amazing. He's totally sweet and down to earth, and he's just a joy to be around. What preparation did you do for the role? At the time, we only had Mr. G. My family, we were living in LA, and we only had Mr. G, and the only thing that I knew about Selena was that she was a street thief. I didn't know that I was auditioning for the role of Selena Kyle. I thought I was auditioning for just a street thief orphan girl named Lucy. But in the breakdown, it did say that she was very cat-like in her movements, and so for the final audition, they said it's optional for you to do some cat movements. So to me, I'm trying to get a job. This is mandatory that I do some cat movements. So I choreographed a set. I looked at videos of Cat the Musical on YouTube to find inspiration, and I also stalked my cat for a good 3 days. And, you know, he's a big love bug. He loves me, and for those 3 days, he hated me because he would be sleeping, and I would be like, to see how he reacted when something, you know, when something he didn't expect would happen, and I would mimic his walk, and so yeah, that's what I did to prepare for the role. Where do you hope they take Selena next year as a character? That's a good question. I don't know. Selena is very unpredictable, so, you know, if I think she may go one way, she usually goes the other way, so I just kind of go with the flow when it comes to that, because the writing is amazing. Did you always want to be an actress? I didn't. I actually went into the dance industry when I was 10, and I wanted to be I was a professional dancer, but I wanted to be a tour dancer. I wanted to go on tour and backup dance for famous artists, and it wasn't until I got hired for a film as a dancer, and last minute they had me do some lines, and you know, I had never acted before, but that was when I realized, like, this acting thing is pretty cool. So, yeah. Do you like playing a hero or villain more? That's a hard question because I don't see Selena as a hero or a villain. But I would say, actually that's not a hard question, I think the villains are more fun to play because they're more complex, you know, and we have a lot of heroes in reality, and so it's fun to actually play somebody or something that's not really realistic, you know. I'm gonna get some water, I'm parched. Yes. Okay. How has your life changed after playing Selena Kyle? It hasn't changed very much, actually. The only difference now is I get noticed a lot more when I'm walking down the street or something, but I'm still doing school, I still work out, I still hang with friends when available, or when they're available, I mean. So yeah, nothing's really changed. What do you and Selena have in common? Solitary. We're both solitary. I mean, we're solitary. She's more solitary and I'm more of an introvert. There's a kind of a big difference in my book, but I'd say we're both solitary. And then, what's the other thing? We have the same hair. We're twins when it comes to that. And her fashion sense is pretty bomb, but she inspires me in that aspect. She looks like she can wear all leather and still look cool. And we're both kind of smart asses. So I'd have to say that. Sorry, Mom. Do you do all of your own stunts? I don't do all of them. I do love doing them because it makes me feel closer to Selena Kyle. Because it's something that she would do. But for legality issues, child labor laws, I can't do all of them. But it's all for the best because production is trying to keep me safe, so. What's the hardest scene you've had to film? That's a good question. There's no specific scene that I've had to film that was hard, but the scenes that, the thing that makes scenes hard to do is the cold weather because, you can't feel your face, so you don't know if you're, you feel like you're talking like this, and you can't tell if your lips are closing, and if you're saying your lines right, and then, for Selena, she's used to being outside, so she's used to the cold, and so, I'm obviously cold, and, I'm not cold, so I tense my body up thinking that, I'm not cold, if I tense my body up, I won't shiver. But in reality, it actually makes me shiver more because I'm tensing my muscles. So that would be what probably makes scenes hard. There's actually, I just remembered, there was one scene last season where we actually had to reshoot part of a scene because we didn't get the coverage that we needed because it was so cold. And so our set dressers, they actually mimicked the location set and they built it on our stage studio. And so we were actually really warm and it was really nice. So that was pretty cool. Okay, do you think Selena would rather steal the Mona Lisa or an expensive diamond? An expensive diamond because she can pawn it. Duh. Yes. Do you watch Blind Spot? Yes! I love Blind Spot! Oh my god. This is my favorite, besides Gotham obviously, but they actually film at the same studio that Gotham films at. So I bump into Jamie Alexander, not all the time, but sometimes. And the first time I saw her, we were both eating in the cafeteria, and I completely fangirled, and I was like, I just want to let you know that I love you in the show. And she's like, oh my god, Catwoman. And I was like, oh my god, Jane Doe. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. Who's your favorite Gotham villain? Ooh. I'd have to say either Nigma, who becomes the Riddler, or Penguin. Just because when it comes to Nigma, with both of them you sympathize for them because Nigma gets bullied all the time. And he's just like a weird dude. And you can't help but like him because, he's Nigma. And then Penguin, he's kind of pathetic too, but he's likable, So, yeah. Those are the villains that I can think of. Yeah, there are others, obviously. Jerome. Jerome was my favorite villain. Cameron Monaghan, he's freaking amazing. So those three. And Victor Zsasz. Gotham consists of so many villains that you can't choose. So, next one. Do you speak Spanish? No. But I am Hispanic. My great-great-grandpa is from Spain, and they immigrated here, so I'm third-generation Spanish. But I still have to take a Spanish class, so. How much do you like playing Selena Kyle? I love it. I love playing Selena Kyle. It's definitely a role that I've always looked forward to doing because it's allowed me to use both my dance experience and my acting and merge it together, and it's been great. I love it. Who is the funniest off camera? I need some more water. Off camera, probably Drew. Me and Drew are like, he's like the big bear and I'm like the little bear, and then it's just like big bear, little bear. So yeah. But everybody has a different sense of humor, so everybody can be funny at different times. But also Anthony, who plays Victor Zsasz, he is so funny because he's just nonchalant and just like dry about everything. He's just like, yeah. So I'm always laughing when I'm around him. So yeah. What's it called? Does anyone on set play pranks? No. And I was really looking forward to that, you know? Because I've always wanted to be a prankster, but I've never been able to do it because I'm just a really bad liar. And I'm not really creative enough to bully people, you know? I'm not really into that. So, yeah. Yeah. When it comes to Spanish, so I'm going to wait for some more questions to come up. When it comes to Spanish, about half of the family speaks it. I'm one of the only people besides my dad who doesn't speak it. When I was younger, since I grew up in Chula Vista, I was able to understand it, but I couldn't speak it because I was the only, you know, light-skinned person at my school. So I had to learn Spanish eventually. So yeah, my great-grandma used to be like, Camren, why don't you speak Spanish? Not, she would obviously have an accent, but Camren, why don't you speak Spanish? I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. So yeah, we would get in little bickerments there. How old are you? I'm 16 at the moment. I turned 17 May 22nd. I'm a Gemini. I have 2 sides to me. Yeah. Would you one day like to wear the cat suit? Yeah. Yeah. Who do you think would win in a fight between Penguin and Jerome? I think maybe, that's hard. If it was a physical fight, it would definitely be Jerome, but Penguin knows how to get himself out of situations through psychological means. He definitely knows how to get in people's, he definitely knows how to get in a person's head, a lot like how Nigma eventually does. So, yeah, that's a hard question. What's your favorite food? I like food. I like all kinds of food. I like spaghetti. So, okay, that's not, okay, so Italian, Japanese, Mexican, Spanish, Cuban, yeah, just anything that's not soggy or mushy, and you put it in front of on my plate, I will eat it. What kind of movie would you like to star in someday? Ooh, that's a good question. Well, type of movie. Okay, drama for sure. I'm also really into action because I like doing stunts. So when it comes to movie genre, I would definitely want to do. Excuse me, I am so sorry. I ate before I came home. Sorry. Okay, what do you... Sorry. People on set know how much I burp because I have no filter. I'll just burp and I'm like, sorry. But it's embarrassing in front of, what, 36.7 thousand viewers? That's embarrassing. What DC character would you like to see on the show? I'm really looking forward to for Harley Quinn to show up. I've always wanted Harley Quinn to appear on the show. Or, you know, the origin story, you know, well, you know what I mean, the origin story of Harley Quinn. What was the first day of shooting like? It was so cold. We were staying in LES, Lower East Side, for people who aren't familiar with New York, and we drove up 2 hours to Long Island. That's where the manor is, and it was really, okay, first of all, it was really intimidating because it was literally my first day. And secondly, it was so cold. So that wall that I was on was probably 20 feet up, maybe. I may be, you know, lying a bit. But what I know of, I was 20 feet up high. We were by this huge manor place that was right by the ocean. And I had to... I had to crawl up, and I had to observe Bruce Wayne, and the wind is gushing, and so it was maybe 15 degrees normally, but with the wind it was like -5 or something, maybe even below that, and my eyes were dried. They were dried out, so I was like this, and I was trying not to shiver, and I had to actually thaw out my hands and legs for 45 minutes after that. So it was pretty gruesome. Shout out from San Diego. Yes, San Diego. San Diego. What country would you most like to visit? I would like to visit Spain. Just like I said, I have family there. My family is from there, so I've always wanted to go there, and I've always wanted to backpack Europe in general, just go on like a 3-month trip to Europe and just say I went here and here and here. So that would be my dream trip, but I definitely want to go to Spain. Are you looking forward to Suicide Squad? Yes! I am so excited for Suicide Squad. Yeah, I'm not even gonna drag that on. How would you describe Selena and Bruce's relationship at the moment? At the moment, it's a friendly relationship on Selena's part. For Bruce, I think he's starting to see her in a different light, but it's definitely a friendly relationship, and you'll see their relationship grow a bit more over this next season. So, yes. And, yeah. So, let's see. Oh, more questions. Okay. What's the biggest difference between dance and acting? Honestly, one you're speaking and one you're not. Dancing and acting are actually very similar because, you know, for me, I've always thought of, okay, with acting, you have a script, and you have lines, and you have a person that you're talking to. And with dance, you have the music, and you're communicating through your body to the audience. And once I started acting, I realized that for dance, the lines for the dancer are the lyrics of the song, and you're actually you're speaking for the artist, and you're showing the artist through your body, and that's what it is. And so in that aspect, I've actually thought of dance and acting as pretty much the same, because you have to become a character while you're dancing. It's just you're not speaking anything verbally. So, yes. Who are some of your favorite actors or actresses? Rachel McAdams. Okay, I need some water for this because it's about to be a long list. Rachel McAdams, Jennifer Lawrence, Emma Stone. Who else? 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 Come on, brain, help me out here. But yeah, I'm gonna say those three for now, because that's what's coming to my brain at the moment. And then actors, I would have to say Leonardo Dicaprio is definitely one of my favorite actors, and oh, and Emilia Clarke from Game of Thrones, you know, Mother of Dragons. She's amazing too. I have a bunch of people who I look up to, male and female, and I just can't really think of them right now. Okay. Okay. Would you like to use the whip on the show? Like, oh, like the whip. Oh, oh my God. Sorry. Okay, yeah. The whip. Yeah, I believe Tigress is actually going to play a role as a mentor to Selena at some point in the show, and I'm pretty sure that's how Catwoman would know how to use a whip, because Tigress is a pro at using the whip. So yeah, I think that would be really cool to be able to use the whip on the show. So yeah, I don't see any questions coming through at the moment, so I guess I'll just wrap it up now. I wanted to thank you for signing in, and I'm sorry for some technical issues in the beginning. There were no questions coming up on my phone, so that's why I was kind of awkward and silent. Sorry. But yeah, it's my first time doing this, so it's pretty cool. And yeah, I hope you enjoy the show tonight at 8 p.m. And yeah, I'm just so excited. Yeah. Oh, and make sure if you tweet anything regarding the show, use the hashtag Gotham so we can get it trending. So, yeah. Thank you so much for signing on and asking me questions and listening to me burp and such. So, yeah. Thank you. Enjoy the show.